Hey guys, it's Eunice from the Sporty Sibling Podcast, and I get it. I know it's really strange. Like, why is it just me this time? Well, after talking to my brother, I decided to finally do my own show, and what better way to do it than do for something I'm almost as passionate about when it comes to football, and that is WWE wrestling. Because I can tell you this, if you think me knowing football since I was a baby is good, well, I was raised on WWE as well. Our father and my uncle are huge wrestling fans, and so growing up, I got to watch a lot of wrestling. I've watched many pay-per-views in my life. I've even gotten to go to a pay-per-view. I've not only gone to a regular SmackDown show, but I also got to go to the 2018 Royal Rumble where Randy Orton won, so that was great. But anyway, so for this first show, I decided to start off with a big bang and give my predictions for this year's Royal Rumble. As you guys know, January 29th, the Royal Rumble commences, and everyone knows Royal Rumble is one of the biggest, probably after WrestleMania, it's probably and SummerSlam. After WrestleMania and SummerSlam, it's one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. We get to watch both men and women's Royal Rumbles. We get to watch some of the regular matches. And overall, it's just fun. So I'm here to give you guys my predictions on who I believe are going to win the matches, as well as my predictions about the Royal Rumble and who I think is going to win the men and women's. So let's begin. So starting off, we're going to start off with the WWE Championship match. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. This is a match I never expected, mainly because it's really like how Bobby has said in one of their promos. They've always just avoided each other. They both had major impacts in both MMA and WWE in their careers, but they never really mixed. I know last year in the Royal Rumble, people alluded to how they're friends in real life. That's great, but they really never fought each other, and it's honestly quite shocking because they're both very similar when you think about it. Very dominant in the ring, very dominant in the MMA ring as well. They're both physically fit. They're huge. They're built like buildings. And they both have their signature moves. Obviously, Brock Lesnar, we know Suplex City. If you hear Suplex City or F5, you know to think about Brock Lesnar. And then, Bobby Lashley, his spear is unreal. We see what he did to the Hurt Business recently. But overall, I'm excited for this match. I think it's going to end up very well, especially that they are friends off screen. I believe that's going to make this match even better because it's kind of been shown, and you can look at the track record, but whenever two wrestlers are friends off screen, off camera, outside of the business, they just seem to put on great matches. One of the best examples, Bayley and Sasha Banks. Them two, everyone knows, whether outside of their characters and stories, everyone knows they are very close best friends off screen. They hang out with each other a lot, back in their homes and everything. And we've seen their matches. They're phenomenal. It's just insane. So I believe it's gonna end up well. Now, as much as I'd like to say Bobby Lashley is going to win, just because I really like how WWE is taking his storyline, I do think he's going to win. Mainly because, it's Brock Lesnar. Whenever Brock has the belt, he essentially goes on an undefeated streak for God knows how long. And whenever he does lose it, if he loses it in like an actual match, most of the time, honestly, he kind of doesn't really lose it. But whenever he does lose the belt, it's usually in like some really big way. Like a Royal Rumble, no. Maybe losing it at WrestleMania, possibly. SummerSlam, possibly. Royal Rumble, no. Unfortunately, he is not going to lose that, especially because he just got it like recently. I feel like WWE is not going to take that chance of just stripping him right away, as much as Bobby Lashley's character is going. Now, I believe it's not going to end in a very fair way. I believe there is going to be some kind of interference. Now, obviously, in the past, I would say it's a Paul Heyman interference, but with, actually, yeah, it could be a Paul Heyman interference still. But I actually think the Hurt Business is going to get involved. I mean, we've seen them constantly kind of get involved with Bobby Lashley. Obviously, they're a little bit bitter, believing that he left the Hurt Business. He turned his back on the Hurt Business. So I believe they will interfere somehow. Them or Paul Heyman, by leaning more towards the Hurt Business rather than Paul Heyman. I believe that there's going to be some kind of incident, some kind of distraction is going to happen that's going to distract Bobby Lashley, or he's possibly going to get attacked. And then, just as usual, Brock Lesnar's get capitalized. 1, 2, 3, he wins. Okay, so that's my prediction for the Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar match. Then you got the Raw Women's Championship match: Becky Lynch versus Doudrop. I didn't expect this match, in all fairness. I really expected the Royal Rumble match to be Becky Lynch versus either Bianca Belair or Liv Morgan, or both. I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if they would have said a triple threat match between the three. Mainly because, I mean, Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan have been the top the top contenders for challenging Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. And Doudrop kind of entered out of nowhere. I mean, she has been in the business. I mean, she was in the NXT UK for quite a while before coming here. But I mean, I just didn't expect them to enter her so quickly. But you know what? I'm not shocked. I am surprised, but I'm not mad about it. I mean, do I wish we could have gotten a little bit more development before just entering her right into the picture? Yes. But I mean, WWE kind of does these things sometimes. And I mean, Doudrop is an amazing competitor. If you've seen what she's done in NXT UK, you know that she can bring it. She is a powerhouse. I mean, it's simple as that. She's a powerhouse, but she is still a bit technical as well, which I enjoy. She's not full power like Nia Jax or Tamina. Tamina, not so much. She's a bit of a powerhouse technical mix as well. But Doudrop, she definitely has the power, but she also knows how to do technical moves, which I enjoy. I liked how this match kind of started, that Becky Lynch essentially admitted to wanting this match by assisting Doudrop in the triple threat for contendership for her opponent at Royal Rumble. Now, is Doudrop gonna win? Probably not. I mean, it's Becky Lynch. She is phenomenal. We know that she is amazing whenever she has the championship on her. I mean, she didn't even lose the championship last time. She had to relinquish it because she got pregnant, which, oh God, her and Seth Rollins' baby is so cute. I can't. But aside from that, I mean, I don't think WWE is planning on her losing it to Doudrop, but I'm expecting a good match. I think Becky Lynch definitely is going to go into this underestimating Doudrop. Obviously, Becky Lynch's character, very confident in herself, and I mean, she has a right to be too. She has all the right to be confident. But I think she's definitely going to go into this being a little underestimating Doudrop, as well as just the fact that, well, I mean, she doesn't really face these kind of powerhouses all the time. I mean, her common opponents, you know, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks. I mean, Bianca Belair is a powerhouse too, but she's a different kind of powerhouse. She's kind of like an all-rounder, if you would. And I mean, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan, I mean, none of them compared to the power and technicality that Doudrop has. So I'm expecting her to definitely be caught guard. I do expect her to win. I don't expect any interference in this match. I don't think there's anything going on either side for there to be an interference. Possibly, if there's going to be an interference, it's possibly going to be caused by Bianca Belair or Liv Morgan. Maybe they get jealous or something. But I really doubt that there's going to be interference. I think it's just going to be a really good match. It's going to start off with Doudrop having a big drive. She's going to be dominating for quite a bit of the match. Then, as usual, Becky Lynch is eventually going to fight back, and then I expect her to make her tap out with the armbar, but I mean, who knows at this point? But I do expect Becky Lynch to win. She is my pick for winning this match. The next, Edge and Beth Phoenix versus the Miz and Maurice. I am so excited for this. I love mixed matches, especially when it's the couples, because it's pretty much always the couples. And I mean, the Miz and Maurice and Edge and Beth Phoenix are two of probably the biggest WWE couples in the business, I believe, at least married, married already. And you know what? I expect a lot of good things. Obviously, you know, the Miz and Maurice, she kind of comes in every now and then. We know for like the last, I'd say, 7-8 years, she's kind of been the sidekick for the Miz. You know, she's come in, she's been on the on Miz TV with him, she stays by him for ringside, sometimes helps him win matches. I know she did have a mixed match with him against Daniel Bryan Brie Bella, I believe it was like 4 or 5 years ago, and that was a good match too. But I mean, she plays her part well, and she still got in the ring. Not as good as how she was originally when she was still a wrestler, but she still plays good. And I mean, the Miz, we know the Miz, love him or hate him, he's a good wrestler. He knows how to work with the people. And I mean, everyone knows his mic skills are amazing. I mean, I'm sorry, I know he always has a hating character, but I mean, you can't deny that when you give the Miz the mic, you're going to get good promo. You're going to get good in general. And I mean, Edge and Beth Phoenix, obviously, it's been a while since she's been in the ring. So, you know, I'm a bit hesitant, but I mean, obviously they're wrestlers at heart. I highly doubt that she hasn't been, you know, practicing wrestling with Edge or any of her friends off screen and such. So I definitely expect her to still, you know, play like fight like Beth Phoenix when she was a wrestler. And I mean, Edge, we know he's been back for a while, ever since coming out of retirement, which again, I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with me. I was so happy when that happened. Edge is by far one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and seeing him back in the ring is just awesome. I definitely am excited for this match. We've seen the build-up kind of going on, you know, this is being recorded on Tuesday, so to the Tuesday right before Royal Rumble, but I watched Monday Night Raw yesterday, and I mean, we know that the Miz and Maurice did a little sneak attack on Beth Phoenix and Edge, which is exciting. And again, a few weeks ago as well, they, you know, Edge and Beth Phoenix kind of got them back by spilling that black stuff on them. So yeah, I expect a good match. I think it's definitely gonna go back and forth. I believe it's gonna be how a lot of mixed matches are, where it's gonna start off with the guys. It's gonna start off with the Miz gaining an advantage somehow, you know, him and Edge are going back and forth, but he's obviously kind of dominating Edge. Then what happens? Somehow, some way, they get tagged in. Maurice is going to be like, what? No, I don't want to get hit. But Beth Phoenix is going to be like, no, you're coming in the ring with me. And she's going to bring them in. They're going to have a good fight. I think Maurice will put up a bit of a fight, but obviously, I mean, I think Beth Phoenix will have the advantage. And I personally am going to say, I believe Edge and Beth Phoenix will win. I believe WWE is going to take that route. However, if the Miz and Maurice win, I can also see that happening. However, if they do win, I do think it's going to be kind of like some sort of interference / mix-up. Either interference in the sense that they're going to have something hidden, like a secret pair of brass knuckles maybe, or like a brick. Obviously Maurice kind of showed that she likes bricks. You know, some kind of sneaky little weapon to, you know, kind of do a little knockout hit or such. Or it's going to be a mix-up in the sense that, oh, you know what, Miz rolls up Edge, but the ref didn't see that he tagged in the Beth Phoenix and 1, 2, 3, and oh my God, that wasn't the right person. But you know, stuff like that, I believe, is a potential. But if it's just a clean 1, 2, 3 match where there's no interference, no mix-up, I believe Beth Phoenix and Edge will win. If there is an interference or mix-up, then I do give it to the Miz and Maurice. But I'm expecting a good match. All 4 of them are seasoned veterans in the ring, and I think it's just going to be a phenomenal match. But the main event, one of the 2 main events of Royal Rumble, and that's the Royal Rumble. I mean, so I'm going to start off first with the Men's Royal Rumble. So as you know, there's 30 participants. As of right now, the current declared superstars for the Men's Royal Rumble is Omos, Randy Orton, Riddle, Otis and Chad Gable, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Kevin Owens, Big E, AJ Styles, Damian Priest, Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn, Kofi Kingston, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, Sheamus, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, and Austin Theory. That does leave 8 potential, you'll know who's coming in, 8 superstars. But I mean, it's already a good roster as it is. So far, just from who's been declared, I don't think Omos is going to get it, nor Randy Orton, Riddle, Otis, Chad Gable. They have their own thing going on. Damian Priest, I don't believe, because he is the United States champion. Usually any champions, international, United States, or tag team that enter into the Royal Rumble usually do not lose. I do expect him to get quite a bit of eliminations, but I do not expect him to win. Same for Sami Zayn. Kofi Kingston, I don't believe is either. Corbin, Moss, Dawkins, Ford, both Mysterios, and Austin Theory, I do not believe, as well as Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, I don't think. So that kind of already shortens the list. Kevin Owens, Big E, AJ Styles, Sheamus are currently the four people in what's left of the declared superstars that I think could potentially win. Now, for the 8 spots that have not been declared, I can definitely see some NXT superstars, maybe Tommaso Ciampa, maybe you can MSK possibly could enter. I feel like you definitely can get some of them in there. Now, I'm really excited to see Kofi Kingston's save of the year, because we know at Royal Rumble every year, Kofi Kingston, something happens and he doesn't get eliminated. He crawls the barricade, he doesn't land on his feet, something. So I'm excited for that. You can also possibly see some returns from some veterans. I mean, depending on when the match is, there's a chance Edge and the Miz could possibly enter into the Royal Rumble if their match happens early enough. I can definitely see that happening. Maybe even the Usos could possibly enter in it. Maybe see a return of the Hurricane Kid, which is good. If that happens, it's gonna be very funny. There's a lot of possibilities. I don't see any returns for anybody. Maybe Finn Balor's gonna make an entrance and possibly get back at Austin Theory for what he did to him this past Monday. But aside from that, I really don't have a big idea of who could possibly come back. But if we're just going off of the 4 people that I have left in the declared superstars, I think the person who has the best chance, in my opinion, who's going to be my pick for winning the Royal Rumble, is Kevin Owens. I just think that Kevin Owens, he's been having a good momentum behind him, and I think he has the chance to win this. I think he will. I believe it actually will come down to Kevin Owens, Big E, AJ Styles, and Sheamus, not including anyone who enters in those 8 leftover spots, because obviously, depending on who returns on the 8 spots, my pick could change at that moment. But as of the declared superstars right now, I believe it'll come down to those 4. Now, Big E, obviously, he did have the title recently, he lost it, so I don't believe they're going to give him another chance right now to win the Royal Rumble and possibly fight for it at WrestleMania. Sheamus and AJ Styles both have a little bit of momentum behind them, but I don't think their storyline is developed enough to argue that, okay, yeah, like them winning not Super Bowl, wrong show, but them winning the Royal Rumble's not gonna make too much sense. I believe the person who definitely has a developed storyline enough to back them up in winning the Royal Rumble and creating a good match at WrestleMania is Kevin Owens. I think that he is going to last the entire time that he's there, whether he's the first to enter or the last to enter, whichever way. I believe he's going to be in there. He is going to be resilient. I think it's going to come down to him and someone else. He's going to be able to get them eliminated, and he's going to win. And if he does win, which is my prediction, I believe he'll probably challenge Roman Reigns I don't think he really has enough beef or any storyline with Brock Lesnar to challenge him. So if he does win, like I believe he will challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal title at WrestleMania, which, I mean, if WWE finally decides to have Roman Reigns lose the belt, well, I mean, he's gonna lose it to Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. So that is my prediction for that. Now, getting on to the second main event of the Royal Rumble, which is the Women's Royal Rumble. This one is definitely much more of an anticipation, I believe. Now, as the same as the Men's Royal Rumble, there's going to be 30 superstars. Currently declared superstars is Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Charlotte Flair, which was a bit shocking. I thought they wouldn't let either champions enter into the Royal Rumble, but I guess Charlotte Flair is an exception because she's a Flair. Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Nikki Ash, Brie and Nikki Bella, Carmella, Queen Zelina, Lita, Michelle McCool, Kelly, Dana Brooke, Natalya, Mickie James, Tamina, Shayna Baszler, Summer Rae, Aaliyah, and Shotzi. So those are the current declared. That's 21, so there's still 9 spots undeclared. Now, right off the bat, you know, you can kind of already start to eliminate people. Aaliyah and Shotzi, no. Summer Rae, no. Shayna Baszler, no. Tamina, no. Mickie James, no. Natalya, no. Dana Brooke, no. Kelly, Michelle McCool, no. Queen Zelina and Carmella, no. Both Bella twins, no. Nikki Ash, I'll leave her. Charlotte Flair, no, because she is a champion. I don't think they're gonna. I really hope WWE doesn't go that route of her winning it and then facing Becky Lynch to win the double title. I think, like, we already saw them kind of fight for the double title. I believe it was 3 years ago when also Ronda Rousey was involved, the triple threat at WrestleMania. So I don't think they're gonna do that again. So I'm gonna take out Charlotte Flair, and then Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan I also will take out of the equation just because they've had their chances at contending for the championship. I don't think they're gonna give it to them. So right off the bat, that already eliminates my list for who's gonna win the Royal Rumble. I have left Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Nikki Ash, and Lita. Those are the only ones I have left for declared. Now, for those 9 spots that haven't been declared, I mean, you're definitely gonna see some NXT superstars. I can maybe see Raquel Gonzalez. I can maybe possibly Dakota Kai as well enter. Now the thing is that I am curious to know who is going to be returning to the ring. Because I did check to see who has a chance of returning. Sasha Banks, obviously, we know sadly will not enter, because I truly thought for a while leading up until when she unfortunately got injured, I was gonna give Sasha Banks my pick for the Royal Rumble winner, but with her getting injured, unfortunately, that's not gonna be the case. Bayley as well. I know she is technically close to the time she would be able to return. However, it's still about 2 months, I believe, because she got injured back in end of June, beginning of July of last summer, and they did say she was gonna have a 9-month recovery, which right now, given it's January, she still has about, I believe, 2 more months of recovery left for her injury. So I don't think she will sadly be returning. You know, Asuka, I think everyone kind of knows this. Asuka's kind of been out of the picture for a while. I know she's a free agent. Now, there hasn't been any news saying whether she has re-signed with WWE or she's going to leave the company. If news does come out that she is re-signing with WWE, I can see her potentially making a return in the Royal Rumble, Women's Royal Rumble, and possibly winning it. But again, that is now someone else that I am very curious to see. If any of you have been paying attention to social media, it's someone who we haven't seen in quite a while, and that's Lacie Evans. Lacie Evans has not been seen since that whole weird storyline that she had with Ric Flair. And if you guys have been paying to social media recently, there was a fan that posted her daughter during Christmas opening her present to get Lacie Evans doll, saying she was excited for her return. Lacie Evans then retweeted that little video saying it's coming soon, or expects something similar to that saying. So I mean, that kind of makes me think that she's going to make a return to the Royal Rumble in this year's Royal Rumble, and if she does, she's definitely going to be on my contention list for winning the Royal Rumble. Because I mean, what better way to return than essentially pull a John Cena, return from injury and just win it all. Right? So anyways, that being said, you know, so I'm gonna count Lacie Evans in, since she has kind of hinted that she's going to return, and I think the Royal Rumble is when she will be making her return. So you got Lacie Evans, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Nikki Ash, and Lita. Lita I entered just because, I mean, she's a Hall of Famer. Out of the Hall of Famers that are coming back, I think she is definitely going to be the one that's going to last the longest, but I think eventually she will be eliminated. Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley, I mean, they kind of have a storyline going on, so while I do believe they will make it to the end, I believe they will end up taking each other out in some way, so I will count them out as well. If anything, I expect them to have their own match going on, possibly at WrestleMania. Not quite sure about that. So that's essentially down to Naomi and Lacie Evans. And there's two reasons for this. I mean, Lacie Evans, like I said, you know, what better way than to come back and challenge, especially because she was kind of having a thing going on with Charlotte Flair. So I believe, and we know her history with Becky Lynch too, so she would definitely be a good contender. But Naomi as well, I mean, considering the whole thing going on with Sonya Deville, you know, Sonya Deville kind of screwing her over in a way in the title match against Charlotte Flair. I mean, she definitely has the storyline and the momentum behind her to win the Royal Rumble and then challenge Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I believe that whoever wins the Women's Royal Rumble is going to challenge Charlotte Flair. I don't think there's anyone currently, and no one that I can think of that could possibly be returning in one of those 9 undeclared matches that would have a storyline or a reason to challenge Becky Lynch. I believe Charlotte Flair is going to be the champion that's going to be challenged by whoever wins the Women's Royal Rumble. I really can't choose between Lacie Evans and Naomi. Now, if Lacie Evans does not return at the Royal Rumble, then my full pick is Naomi 100%. She is the only one I think that has everything in her books. Obviously she's an amazing wrestler. She has the storyline. She has the momentum behind her. It makes perfect sense why she should win the Royal Rumble. But I mean, like I said, it depends. If Lacie Evans does return, I can definitely see the case for Lacie Evans as well, challenging, kind of like reigniting the feud against Charlotte Flair before she went on her whole leave, because I believe she got pregnant, if I'm correct. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of my pick. If Lacie Evans doesn't return, fully 100% Naomi. If Lacie Evans does return, it's 50-50 between her and Naomi. Definitely Naomi is going to be one of my top picks. Alexa Bliss also is a potential thing. Everyone, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm absolutely loving her character. I'm loving her storyline. The whole thing with her going to a therapist is comedy gold, and she is, honestly, give the woman an Oscar. That woman can act like nobody. I don't understand. Like, she needs to be in a movie somehow, because her acting skills are on par. She potentially win the Royal Rumble as kind of like a surprise winner, just because, I mean, we do understand what happened last year with Charlotte Flair kind of making fun of Alexa Bliss and Lily, you know, that whole feud going on, so they could reignite it, but that's a very small chance. That's like if you're to put it on a 100% scale, that's like a 1% for me, for thinking that will happen. So it's still gonna be, for me, Naomi as my pick. If Lacie Evans does return, Lacie Evans or Naomi are my picks. But yeah, I'm really excited for the Royal Rumble this year. I think all the matches, including the Royal Rumble, sorry, I forget there's 2. I think all matches are going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to each one of them. I mean, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins. I think if I had to really order them, or not order them, but if I had to put, I think Becky Lynch and Doudrop is going to be my least, like, the least popular match that I'm looking forward to, just because I don't think much will come out of it. For the match I'm looking most forward to, I'm not going to count the Royal Rumbles, just because, I mean, how can you not look forward to the Royal Rumbles at Royal Rumble? It's kind of in the name. Looking at just the regular matches, I think I'm definitely going to be excited for the Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins match. As much as I love Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, and then Edge, Beth Phoenix versus the Miz and Maurice, I mean, I can't, I'm a Shield fan at heart. I'm sorry, guys, I'm a Shield fan at heart. Seeing Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins fight is just, I'm so excited. I know they're going to just put an amazing match, and it's going to be perfect. I love it. But with that being said, guys, thanks for joining me in my predictions for the Royal Rumble. Make sure to comment who you are going to predict to win the Royal Rumbles, as well as each of the championships. Do I have the same predictions as you, or are you different? I mean, that works too. If you think that Dana Brooke's going to win the Royal Rumble, well then say it. If I mean, it's always a possibility at the Royal Rumble. WWE does like to surprise us at the end. But anyways, guys, that is all. Make sure to catch Sporty Siblings podcast on all social medias, as well as RYM Network. Sporty Sibling podcast with my brother does show on Fridays, 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Also, make sure to check out our merch on the RYM website. We got hoodies, not hoodies, sorry. It's that we're getting there though. We got sweatpants, we got beanies, we got masks as well. There's a lot coming in, and it's really comfortable too. So, and it's always great for you guys to support us. But with that being said, I'll see you guys. I will be making a little short video after the Royal Rumble happens to talk about the results, which that's going to be exciting, especially if I did predict all the winners, then that's going to be even great for me. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys later.